Okay. Welcome back to the trainer shed treasure hunt at House of N on 28th July 2024. We have received word that all is right with the world and that players are being reflected on the correct player portraits are being reflected on the correct side of the game again. So very happy to see that. In round two of the game, we bring you Martin Teo versus Ken Nakamoto. Martin Teo, usually known for unorthodox strats that generally take a pretty long time to execute. And of course, today he is bringing us a very, very unorthodox team in Nine Tails, Iron Bundle, Miraidon, Iron Valiant, Cosmos, and Iron Shreds. So he's loading up on Pokemon that take advantage of that electric terrain. And of course, his opponent here is Ken, who is also playing Miraidon himself with support Iron Hands, Miraidon, Ogapon, Hearthflame, Urshifu, and Perigran. So we are expecting to see a lot of drives going on over here. And the two Miraidons, one each on two sides of the field, we are expecting Electric Terrain to have a lot of uptime here. So as game 2 starts, we see an Ogapon and Miraidon and a Miraidon and Frostmoth lead from Martin. Frostmoth, a Pokemon we don't usually see in VGC like this. It's generally too frail, too slow, and the time to form weakness to both fire and rock is generally seen as being a pretty debilitating thing that's holding that Pokemon back. But if anybody can make it work, it's probably going to be Martindale. While Pokemon Hearthflame, a more conventional Pokemon, introduced in the Q mask, has been a very consistent fixture in VGC ever since. You do see Ken switching on his Miraidon turn 1. He's going into Iron Hands instead. I spoke with Iron Hands is actually a ready to beat the Demon Miraidon. As you see, the vote switch from really fast Miraidon on Martintail's side, going into Iron Hands. Iron Hands is taking it on the chin even after Hair Drop Engine to expect boost. Now, after the vote switch, Martin is going to bring we're going to see a little bit of second phase from IV Cudgel actually going into Alola Ninetales, almost making it off, and Frostball Blizzard for some pretty good damage on both of Ken's Pokemon, but bringing Ninetales Frost Blizzard 100% accurate with Snow, and while we're at it, we should probably talk about Snow. Ninetales, of course, surviving the IV Cudgel pretty handily because of Snow. It was changed in Gen 9 so that it gives a 50% defense buff to all ice types while Snow is active on the field, actually making ice types a lot more defensive and giving Hail a place in the meta, while in previous generations it was kind of always the odd one out. Sand had really powerful Pokemon like Tyranitar and Explorer. Sun and Rain was carried by the presence of powerhouses like Groudon and Kyogre, as well as Torkoal and Pelipper, of which we are seeing a lot. But it's no Martin choosing to go the path less travel. But the Frostmoth is no longer going to be receiving a snow defense boost as it terrestrializes into the water type. We see both of Ken's moves over here. The Ogapon perfect setting of Spiky Shield, while the Hands goes for the fake out and very handily takes out at Ninetales. Blizzard out of Frostmoth. Still the snow, so 100% accurate. Doesn't hit the Pokemon, but brings the Iron Hands down to 25%. Hands obviously a very defensive Pokemon. It's not a defensive Pokemon per se, it is a offensively leading Pokemon, but it is so tanky that usually you're going to take several hits just to get rid of a single one. See the Rhino coming back from Martin. Electric Terrain is definitely going to be up for a long while yet. And Iron Hands enjoying what I presume is the attack boost. Right up going for a bold switch again, takes off 50%, around 50% of the overall, going back into Martin, and it's going to reveal the last Pokemon he has in the back. What's it gonna be? Oh, it's gonna be the Iron Treads coming out. Not only do we get to see the Frostmoth, we get to see Iron Treads as well, and both of them on the field at the same time. Iron Treads in the electric terrain gets a speed buff from photosynthesis. Woodhammer brings the Frostmoth so close to death, but it's just not enough. And Ogapon is going to fade to its own recall damage. Iron Hand is going to fade from the single target prison damage, so Ken losing 2 Pokemon in a single turn. He's down to his last 2, but one of the last 2 Pokemon is that restricted legendary in the Rhydon, which we are going to see him send out over here. And of course, his last Pokemon is going to be the Whimsicott. However, I think that Ken has to take into consideration here is that with only 2 Pokemon left and the Mirano being choice back, he's going to have to lock into one move for the rest of this game. Can lock into an electric move, but it's not going to do anything to Iron Treads. Can lock into a dragon move, but then Iron Treads resisted as well. So is Iron Treads potentially the perfect answer to my Rhydon, guys? Is this the secret tech that we are going to discover just 3 weeks before Worlds in Hawaii? Probably not, but it's a pretty interesting thing to see. See if it's not going for a priority kill video. Brown is going to be the fastest thing in the field. Even with the Iron Treads getting a speed buff from Quick Drive, it's going for the Dazzling Gleam. They don't pick up that Frostmoth, which was kind of on its last legs already anyway. It's not going to do a lot of damage to Iron Treads, and it's going to, of course, be locked into Dazzling Gleam for the rest of this game. Iron Head goes in Whimsicott, just short of taking on the Iron Treads. The Rhydon from Martin's side has also taken the field now. However, without Iron Treads on Ken's side, decision making seems to be just a little bit easier for Martin. Because Tailwind, meaning the Rhydon on Ken's side is still faster. That's actually pretty solid damage now. With only the Iron Treads remaining, Rhydon on Martin's side, folding to a double target from both the Dazzling Gleam and the Blast. Iron Treads now, despite being resistant to all of Ken's attacks, that Iron Treads still cannot live forever. Tailwind, 2 more turns of Tailwind on Ken's side, and it is his to take advantage. While that Iron Treads, living on a prayer, can definitely take out either the Miraidon or the Whimsicott in the last hit that it has. But Martin's gonna have to choose his moves very, very carefully here if he wants to try to get out a win. We do see Miraidon going into Terra Fairy here. Not only a pretty solid defensive Terra type to get rid of that ground weakness, but it's also going to boost the power of his Dazzling Gleam. With Iron Treads only having about 1/3 of itself remaining, that Dazzling Gleam is going to take it out and put Ken Nakamoto 1 game up over Martin Teo in round 2. And they're having pretty lively discussions about Martin's very, very unorthodox Pokemon choices. It's both the Frostmoth and the Iron Treads making surprise appearances in this game. 2 Pokemon that we don't see very often, if at all. But that surprise factor, fortunately, not enough to eke out the win for Martin in round. The crucial game 1 win for Martin in round 2. honestly, watching that crossbow survive that's making it difficult, right? I don't even wonder whether it or not because but in any case, just having that crossbow survive for one more turn, Blizzard to get rid of the Iron Heads, get rid of the fake out, get rid of the generally like tanky Pokemon that stands in Miraidon's way. Oh, it still wasn't enough for Martin to got away. So we have to wonder if Martin's going to drop the crossbow and the Iron Threads in favor of, say, more consistent Pokemon like the Iron Paladin and the Iron Bundle, who both also benefit from which if he's not going to set it up, Ken is probably going to set it up, but which his team also centering around right on. Martin could also just very well stick his guns and continue on the path of using Iron Threads and crossbow please both. No. And now we're going into game number 2. Round 2, game 2 between Natsume and Haruto, between Nakamoto and Nakamoto. Both mirror right on mirror right on, mirror out here, and both of them are using Fog Bracket. See a Miraidon and Overboard lead again from Ken. But this time, you see Market actually dealing with Ninetales and Iron Bundle. And like I said, Ken setting up that electric terrain for you because it's also Miraidon. Iron Bundle is going to get that quick drive boost and boost its speed, so now it's by far the fastest thing in the field. Without Whips, and set up a tailwind for it, there's no way that Miraidon is going to be faster. So the pace of the game, at least for turn 1, is going to be very largely dictated by that Iron Bundle. See a double ice lead from Market, sets up the snow, making Iron Bundle and Ninetales just a little bit more defensive. Something that, of course, Martin is going to want to take as much advantage of as possible. The Miraidon switches out, trying to preserve it in the face of 2 ice types, obviously, that are trying to cut down this dragon. Instead, he goes into the Iron Hands, more defensive, more specially defensive Pokemon that can take all these attacks on the chin, but it still doesn't appreciate taking very damage. Blizzard coming out from super fast Iron Bundle. IV Cudgel going to the Ninetales, it survives again on just a sliver of health. Moonblast going into what was formerly the Miraidon Iron Head, still weak to Moonblast, but is able to take it a little bit better. Now both of Ken's Pokemon at 50% health. That Alola Ninetales kind of on its last legs, but it's done some pretty good damage. Just the merit, just by virtue of surviving, that Alola Ninetales is putting in work right here, guys. And now while Iron Bundle is still the fastest Pokemon in the field, Iron Hands does have the fake out pressure. It is going to be, crit definitely mentored. It's going to be fake out into the Iron Bundle, preventing it from taking advantage of its extremely fast speed the way it wants to. Woodhammer is going to the Iron Bundle, picking it off, doing some recall damage back to Overball, but that means Ninetales is free to move. Moonblast going to Iron Hands, bringing it down to great health. We did see that the combination of Blizzard and Moonblast was what brought Iron Hands to 50-ish health, so another Moonblast wasn't going to take it out, but another hit should be able to do it right about now. No more fake up pressure from Ken, no tailwind from Music Hot. That Miraidon is once again the fastest Pokemon in the field, so Martin has done a pretty good job of, controlling the pace of the game thus far. Even though he's the first to take a knockout, he is in a pretty good position here actually. Although, Ken is the one still with 4 Pokemon on the field. Pokemon going for the Spiky Shield. Doesn't want to take any damage from the Miraidon this turn. Volt Switch does go into the Overpawn, so from Ken right there, preventing the Overpawn, preventing the Miraidon from doing this. But of course, that does leave the Ninetales free to fire off a third Moonblast that the Iron has. It's like finally picking off that super bulky futuristic Pokemon. Ken finally is in the Whimsicott, so he's now again trying to take back the pace of the game from what it was before. He has that tailwind by his side. I think after tailwind, Pokemon might be able to outsmart the Rhydon. And both players taking their time to make changes, thinking very carefully. We do see the priority tailwind coming out of Whimsicott to boost up the Yokomon speed here. IV Kajo going into the Ninetales, taking out its last dregs of health. So that Ninetales that has been pain point for Ken so far is running down, but then leaves the Mirror to react. It's going to voltage into the Yokomon. Yokomon kind of already at pretty low health, takes it out, and Martin does get a free pivot here. So now Ken actually left it. It's the 2-1 Pokemon now that Iron Hands and Pokemon are down. It's very good to right on. But again, we see Iron Threads from Martin here. Previously, the Iron Thread, despite resisting all of Miraidon's attacks, wasn't able to withstand just the onslaught of offense coming out from both Miraidon and Whimsicott with no other partner to sponge attacks for it. But the story is different this time. Now Martin has a Miraidon to decide as well. Both Miraidons just hit the field. They're going to have to make very crucial decisions about what move they want to lock themselves into for the rest of the game. Obviously, both of these Miraidons, it is the most common item on Miraidon, this regulation, to make the most of its frankly insane damage output. Terra Electric if you want to, choice specs, Catron and Gym Boost, Electric Terrain Booster, Stab, Electro Drive is going to decimate anything it touches, bar a resist like Iron Hands or another Miraidon. We do see that Terra Electric coming out of Martin, possibly indicating that that raw power is exactly what he wants to go for here. Oh, but Ken's Miraidon is still way faster. And Draco Meteor coming out of Specs Miraidon over here is going to pick out Martin's Miraidon even after it loses its Dragon Weakness. So that Miraidon, before he can even take advantage of the Terra Electric, is going to fall. Whimsicott Moon Blasting into the Iron Threads, doing some chip damage to it. He's going to have to start doing some meaningful damage now. Otherwise, that Iron Threads resisting both Miraidons -2 Draco Meteor are going to be -4. And Whimsicott's Moon Blast might just be able to steal the game by virtue of its excellent defensive timing in this situation. Right, it does seem to be on the wall here, barring a critical hit. It's going to be very difficult for Ken to try and swing the game back. He does opt for locking the Iron Threads into high horsepower. That Draco Meteor, despite being does still does so much to the Iron Threads. Opt for into high horsepower, going into the Whimsicott, it's a not very effective attack, so that Opt does buy Ken a little bit of time. Enough time to fire off a -4 now Draco Meteor, doing just a little bit more damage than the Iron Threads. We see a repeat of game 1, where despite the Iron Threads resisting all of the attacks, Iron Threads is still a portal Pokemon at the end of the day. It can only take so much damage before it goes down. With very convincing 2-0, with a very convincing 2-0, Ken Nakamoto moves on from round 2 with 2-0. While Martin is going to have to continue playing in the tourney with 1 loss under his belt. Because it almost feels like, Singapore's players are like a shark tank, where despite taking 1 loss, you can never really count them out. And of course, both of them are now really passionately discussing what could have gone better in that game.
But I never take
So despite the fact that Martin has a lot of fork drive Pokemon, the thing is nothing okay. Setting up the despite the fact that Martin has 3 fork drive Pokemon on his team that can take advantage of the electric terrain that Ken is setting up for him. Superior play from Ken, and I think sticking to more orthodox Pokemon was what won the day for Ken in the end.
Some overkill, some need to protect, different
as we move into future rounds, we might see more or less orthodox Pokemon on the stream. Who knows? As we are 3 weeks away from the Pokemon World Championship, so there's still a little bit more room for the top players to experiment, try and try and make better calls for the World Championships, and perhaps find a secret weapon to fight the rest of the world in Hawaii this August. But August is so far away. What's not so far away though is round 3 of Swiss for the Trainer Shed and House of M. So we will be right back and we will see you soon.